You have some serious financial blessings coming your way in the month of June 2024 that are all quite rare. Welcome, Scorpio, for a very bounteous and financially positive month ahead. Now, we're going to dive into what that looks like for you in June of 24 based on your sun, moon, and rising sign. If you're listening for your sun, it's kind of got the career and purpose vibe. Your moon is about home and nest and body, but your sun, your rising sign is all about you. By the way, are you new here? Welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac whole sign houses. I love fixed stars and minor asteroids. I put a lot of content out every month, all signs, up to 30 videos. If you want to hear more of this kind of stuff, please hit that like button and subscribe. And welcome back if you're one of my regulars. Oh, also, the only thing I'm doing to promote something is give away free readings, free courses, and free all signs video predictions for 24. All this content is available for winning every Sunday during the month of May. I'm having contests on my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter. Only if you're a subscriber will you know how to enter the contest. So please, I've given away 12 gifts every Sunday, and I've got 12 under my belt and 12 more to go. So you want to win one of those prizes. That's a lot. That's 50 prizes. So come join me on Cosmic Moonshine. It's in the description box below. It's a weekly forecast newsletter. I'm just trying to increase my subscriptions and giving prizes a celebration away. Scorpio, let's talk about the month of June. We always start off my videos by giving you the overview of bigger outward transits that are in motion, like Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Mercury's storylines this month. And we'll talk about those first. Then we'll dive into the itty-bitty gritties of what's happening every day, well, week by week in the month of June in transits. We will not cover sun or moon full and new because I cover that story in all my videos twice a month, every month in great depth. And I'm not going to try to repeat it here. Okay. So Scorpio rising, you are a Mars ruled being. Let's start with the basics. Mars is the boss of you. Therefore, we need to pay attention to what Mars is doing. No, it's not Pluto. Your Time Lord planet is Mars. Pluto is a modern invention for this. With Mars being the boss of you or your guiding planet, it's important to note that you're going to be experiencing Mars in your seventh house of marriage because Mars will move into the sign of Taurus, the seventh house of marriage, the seventh house of committed love, the seventh house of business partners and legal contracts, the seventh house of how you reach out to your marketplace audience and clients, all those others that you need to pay attention to. And Mars moves into that part of your sky June the 9th through to July the 21st. Now, he spent 6 weeks before that in your sixth house. That's all about work and health matters. You might have been very busy in work. Some of you might want to quit or end your job, and some of you may have done that. But having Mars here now in the sign of Scorpio, this is an important time, in sign of Taurus, because if you're in a long-term love story, this can separate you from your partner. Now, not necessarily forever, like a breakup, right? But more importantly, maybe time apart for some reason, travel or separation, distance geographically, something could put you apart or separated June the 9th to the 21st. But also you could have some more conflict with your marriage type partner, long-term committed love partner, just because Mars is very sharp energy. And your partner might be agitated. Your partner might be more aggressive. Your partner might be more intense during this transit. You might also find that you have the same kinds of intensities and upsets and battles with your clients or your customers. Be careful for that as well if you have that kind of a lifestyle in your professional endeavors. When Mars is here, you may encounter this feeling that there is a lot of sharp energy coming at you, a lot of sword energy coming at you, a lot of debate or conflict energy coming at you from other people around you. So be aware of that tendency for this to be more often common, all right, than it is in your normal reality. We have Uranus here, and that's going to be important as Mars, I'll be doing videos on this. Mars will bump into a Mars-Uranus conjunction. Yikes. That's going to be an important intensity in the marriage house. That's going to be happening closer to the end of the transit in July, right? Closer to the middle of July. And so you could have some really big fractures with a client or sudden explosive upsets with your marriage type partner. Then do not start a new relationship with dating if you can avoid it. I would, because you're going to bake in that Mars transit. So it's not a good time, June 9th to 21st, for anyone who's a single Scorpio to begin a new relationship and expect it to last. So now that we covered Mars, that was simple. Let's talk about Venus and what she's up to. Venus is a fairy godmother story. She's a good planet. She's moved into your Gemini part of your sky, which is your chunky money house. Therefore, things to do with tax rebates, insurance payouts, stock investments, passive royalty incomes, things to do with banking, loans and mortgages, and inheritances are in a blessed state. Now, we want to mention that Jupiter also is here because Jupiter, fairy godfather, moved into the part of the sky where she is also going to be on the same time frame as her, the day after her, May the 25th. So therefore, you're going to have Jupiter here May the 25th to June of 2025. Heads up, it is the inheritance transit. A lot of you, especially with Pluto in the fourth house of family of origin, may experience an inheritance amount of money coming to you over the course of this year. This happens to be quite common when Jupiter moves to the 8th house every 12 years. If you go back to 2012 and 13, did you get an inheritance? My Scorpio rising sun received money from his grandmother. So I want you to consider the possibility of that kind of money, chunks of it, coming to you in the year ahead. Now, the rarity factor, not only every 12 years, is Venus is here as well, doing something very special this month. Venus moves into your 8th house, and then she is going to do something called a star point. We're going to break that down in the week-by-week content shortly, but you're having a whole regeneration of money that does not come from your earnings. It's not your hustle, your paycheck, your daily, your salaries. It's something else, like a stock that takes off, like a sudden book publishing deal, and you get what do you call it, an advance payment, a sign-on bonus, a severance package from leaving a job, or the best luck possible in negotiating and getting a mortgage, home equity loans, sharing the money with the bank, other people's money, buying and selling property. So this is a Jupiter story for a year, but it's a Venus story now. Now, Venus moving in here May the 24th to June the 16th is where you can double down on the goodness of what I've just spoken about in terms of that money story. So expect some unexpected chunks of money or unexpected bits of money coming at you May the 24th to June 16th. And then Venus will move out of that part of your sky June 17th to July 11th and be sitting in your 9th house. 9th house stories are very lucky on their own because it is a luck house, but it's also a house to do with travel, journeys, and getaways, especially to foreign and far off shores. It's also churches and religious institutions. And Venus, of course, is a goddess of love. So therefore, marriages and marriage celebrations may be undergirding something going on in your life, June 17th, July 11th. You may also be dealing with the idea that you want to take a journey that's pleasurable and enjoyable to a foreign country. But if you're in the book publishing industry, or you want to get a book published or publish a podcast, this is 9th House Matters, June 17th to July 11th. It looks really good on you. And it's great for visas, legal contracts, and academic glory, okay? Especially in college campus settings. Maybe June 17th to July 11th, some of you get accepted at your dream school as a second-tier admission, because you're on a back wait list, for example. On June the 3rd to the 17th, Mercury, the messenger of the gods, is moving into Gemini. Now, reminding you that Venus will already be here. And so now we see him moving into contact with your 8th house of chunky money. He's negotiations, deals, contracts. He's stocks and stock market stuff. And June the 3rd to 17th, some of you have good deals and contract negotiations in regards to chunks of money, sign-on bonuses, severance packages, alimony, spousal support, separation monies, money tax rebates. Good news and good negotiations are possible, and good deal making is happening June the 3rd to the 17th on that chunky money front. On June the 18th to the 3rd of July, June the 18th to the 3rd of July, Mercury moves into Cancer. This is where he will also be with Venus. She moves there on the 17th. They're tracking really beside each other. Now, not only is Venus there, and I told you about the happiness, the joyful travel, the academic success, but now Mercury is like, okay, information news. Mercury is a patron protector of travelers. Venus is joy and pleasure. June 18th to July 3rd, some of you may take a trip abroad. All right, you may be engaged in journeys far off shores and lands. It's really good for legal deals and legal outcomes and contracts and negotiations working on your behalf around legal matters. It's also very positive, June 18th to July 3rd, for a lot of communication information going back and forth from book publishers, from academic settings, a lot of emails, phone calls, from people you know in far off foreign shores. So it's a very light touch. Mercury but in Venus is here, and it's all very sweet and positive. June 18th, July to July the 3rd. Now let's break down the month bit by bit. Let's talk about week 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me take a sip of water. I hope I'm still looking at you guys, because when I'm talking, I'm looking at a chart, right? I am still looking at you. Sometimes I don't know where my eyeballs are. Maybe I'm looking off to the side, right? So first of all, what we're going to say is that you have the planet Venus moving into the heart of the sun, which is something she does in Gemini every 4 years on June the 4th. She's doing this Cazimi, June the 4th, connection to the sun at 14 degrees of Gemini. It doesn't matter so much the degree, but it is your house of chunky money. And so therefore that unearned income is having a reset button. Do not expect on, June 4th necessarily to receive a good money story. You may, but this is her rebirth. And so she won't be visible in the evening sky as a morning star, Venus, until early July, mid-July. So you need to wait it out a bit, because once she becomes a visible planet again, then she can deliver the visible rewards of a financial reset or a financial blessing in the chunky money house. Now, at the same time, when Venus comes into the heart of the sun here, she's also going to be co-present with a Jupiter conjunction to Mercury, flowing to Pluto, which is very once first in a lifetime, because Pluto just got his ass into Aquarius. This is really good for legacy wealth, money from mom or dad, trust fund money, selling or buying a property, luscious activities around property, land, and real estate success stories, the dream mortgage, the dream home purchase, the dream home sale, the negotiations around money, Jupiter, opportunity, Pluto, power and wealth coming your way. Again, could be money from a parent, because mom and dad, especially mom, could be down on the 4th house. It could be some bounty here. I'll give my son, who's a Scorpio rising, because I win the lottery, a few $1,000,000. I'll give him a couple 100,000. I know my son, for example, Scorpio rising, wants to move and maybe sell his house, or just move to and find a new home. I don't think that's going to happen in the short run, but it could be things like that, where a lot of Scorpios can find some really powerful real estate opportunity, but also loans and mortgages are very blessed for you as well, especially as they connect to home, property, and real estate during this June 1st to the 7th. On June the 10th to the 12th, I'm going to fix my cheat sheet. Okay. Give me a minute. On June the 10th to the 12th, there's a difficult sky. Sorry, everything is all rainbows and unicorns. Mars will come into a square to Pluto. That's that Pluto in your 4th house of home, property, land, real estate, legacy, wealth. Mars cuts, ends, and severs. There's a deep disconnection energy with likely your significant marriage type partner, or challenging legal problems regarding properties. And you're really going to come into that gritty June 10th to 12th energy, and it will pass. It could even be just a conflict about a home situation, like where you want to live or where you want to move to with a significant marriage type partner. Some of you could have a conflict with a client or audience member, but because it's squaring Pluto in the 4th house, it really is more intimate, to do with someone you live with, situations in your home, and property and real estate storylines. On June the 14th, Mercury will meet the sun, like Venus did, Cazimi, the sun. This is good. The day is special. Come to my free Mercury webinar on the Cazimi story. Check the description box. Sign up. We're going to do a meditation. Asteroids and stars are involved. It's really exciting stuff. I always do Mercury Cazimi webinars that are free when I have time, and this is one of the times I do. There's 6 of these a year. So as Mercury and Venus come together in the heart of, and Mercury and the sun come together in the heart of the sun, June 14th at 23 degrees of Gemini in your house of chunky money. Mercury is planting a seed that may be more visible a couple of weeks later, when he is a visible planet, about a financial opportunity or breakthrough or beginning. Now, Mercury Cazimi here is going to maybe bring you on the day of the Cazimi an insight download or news or information about a stock, a tax situation, an investment opportunity, a real estate opportunity, an opportunity regarding money that you don't have to earn, coming your way, news or opportunities around the time of June 14th, but not fully executable until 2 weeks after, when he's outside the beams of the sun a little bit more, at least 2 or 3 weeks later. He gets a little bit further away from the sun. But nonetheless, the Cazimi itself is its own special blessing. And you can use it like a vision board day, or, visualize the best money growing on trees that you can. Do a little bit of a download with him. Maybe you'll get it. Eighth house can be people who are dead. Get a download from great dead Uncle John with information about how you can best invest your money. I'm making stuff up, but you kind of get the vibe, right? On June the 16th to the 18th, you're going to have Venus conjunct Mercury. Now, Venus and Mercury in the sign of Gemini at 28 degrees of Gemini coming together is going to be good news. Mercury news and information and understanding. Venus good and good and good. Good news, good money news, good information about money, good insights about money, good understanding about money, positive energy about money, June 16th to the 18th, that you do not earn. You can be gifted it. You can share it with another. You could get it from a tax rebate, an insurance payout. I don't know, stock investment, inheritances, but this is a good money story for all Scorpios to some degree, June 16th to the 18th. Sometimes these are subtle. I got money when one of these things happened in my eighth house one time. I just got money back that was owed to me that I thought I lost forever, and someone repaid me. That kind of thing can happen here too. On June the 20th, oh, and just on the June 16th and 18th, this good money story has a bit of a complication. There's a square to the fog of Neptune in your fifth house. So if there's any good money stories that seem to emerge around romantic partners, entrepreneurial enterprises, creative projects, or your children, hold off in making final action plans around that until June the 20th to the 21st, because then the sun will square Neptune and the sun can clear the fog, and you'll know for sure what is real and what is Memorex. That's an old commercial. What is real and what is delusion or illusion. So just wait a bit before making final decisions. 9 out of 10 times, it will be what it seems to be, and the 10th time it won't. So you want to wait till the 20th to 21st to make sure there wasn't a kind of confusion and you didn't see the big picture. For example, somebody wins the lottery, but it turns out you can't claim the ticket. Oh no, because you don't have the rights to the place where the ticket's from. There's kind of weird, confusing things because, of course, Neptune is the house of lottery wins. Moving forward to June the 26th to the 30th. Now, that whole window of time is busy. So you really want to sit with this for a bit. I'll try to delineate it the best I can. Mercury, the messenger, the money guy in terms of commerce and commercial enterprise markets and the public markets, is flowing to Saturn in Pisces. Now, this is rare in the sense it can only happen 3 times every 30 years. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2, 3 years in a row, every 30 years. So you got to recognize this the prior times 30 years ago. Maybe I'll do that in my all signs videos for each weekly to talk about how you have to look back at old cycles for this to get a handle on it. But Scorpio, it's Saturn in the house of romance, children, and fertility, fifth house. Saturn in the house of your creative projects and entrepreneurial businesses and fun play and joy and romance and pleasure. So there's a lot of heavy energy here since last March through to February of 2026. And now there's a bit of a lightness here because Mercury has moved into your 9th house, flowing to Saturn in your 5th. A romantic getaway trip can be planned or taken abroad with somebody you're romantically, sexually involved with. Okay, for example, June the 26th to the 30th. Some of your creative projects or entrepreneurial businesses now are getting a contract, a book contract, a publishing deal. Your record, your music's being signed on by a publisher of music, a producer. You could get a visa arrangement working for you, or an educational opportunity opening up to do something educationally that you really wanted to do that aligns with a 5th house story, passion, joy, creativity, and a natural gift or skill. So as a flowing energy, whatever comes through the sky at this time, June 26th to the 30th, you're going to really enjoy it. And also at the same time, Venus, the cosmic lovers are uniting. Venus is in touch with Mercury, her cosmic lover, flowing in a sextile relationship to that gnarly Mars in the house of marriage and long-term committed love. And now we see Venus in the house of spirituality, romance, far off foreign shores, book publishing. This could be a soothing book publishing contract. This could be a juicy getaway, romantic honeymoon vibe with somebody you care for. This could be an opportunity for some really positive developments in campus and college applications or courses for you. June 30th to June 26th to the 30th. Any problems and turbulence with Mars moving, through your seventh house, as I said, June 9th to July 21st, this is a light touch that kind of soothes the conflicts you may be having. And if you had turbulence and difficulties with a significant love partner, then Venus from the ninth house will draw you together over shared values, spiritual aspirations, or just a good trip away. Taking it or planning it, either one will work. At the very end of the month, June 30th, well, 29th to 30th, surprise, Mercury says, I've got a surprise for you connected to your marriage house, legal contracts and negotiations, and audience and marketplace. That's where Uranus sits, Mercury sextiling him, international book publishing deal, viral video goes crazy, surprise from your marriage partner, like, surprise, honey, I bought us this or that, or I got your tickets with me to Greece for a honeymoon or whatever. So you get these pleasant, lucky, prosperous, because that's Lakshmi ninth house, surprises coming through the sky at the very end of June. And honestly, because Venus has been dancing with her cosmic lover and now Mercury's flowing to Uranus, it feels to me like you got a really good groove going. June the 26th to the 30th, life looks good on you. Enjoy that ride, Scorpio, and let me know what happens. I would like to hear back about what kind of surprise you got in the comments below from that end of the month story. Thanks very much for listening. I will see you in the next set of videos. If you want to get this kind of content before the public and without the ads, I recorded this for Patreon and my community there on May the 8th. And if you want to try me out at the lowest tier of $5 a month, because we get every tier has more meetings with me and Zoom calls and teachings of classes and stuff. If you want to try me out for $5, I'm giving you access to Synastry, Are You My Person relationship course, and Chiron, the Key to Purpose for free as a gift from me for giving me a shot. And if you don't like what we do at Patreon, you can quit anytime and you can upgrade and downgrade your membership at a click of a button. Just trying to see if anybody else wants to jump on my Patreon community. Starting next year, only people in my Patreon community will be able to see me for readings. Just so you know, right now I still have a wait list from the public, and believe me, it's like 1,600 people on that wait list, and I have a wait list from former clients. But I'm going to be giving Patreon people the access to my readings, and that's the only way I can do it at this point. You are subscribing to it. There's no guarantee you'd get in, but that's the only way I can deal with the fact that if I let everybody book me right now, I'd be booked up for 2 years. All right, ciao, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful month of June.